Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is 9/11 today, so I'm doing actually a lot of housekeeping around the channel, and this is a channel update for everybody. The summer's over, and I had originally intended, as most of you know, to stop doing videos all summer until my life kind of settled down at this point. But so much stuff was happening that we had to continue on, but. This is kind of officially that point in time. I'd originally intended to start the channel back up. So this is going to effectively provide an update for the direction moving forward, and also how I am going to incorporate the new platforms into this, because I will not be posting as much to YouTube with most of the stuff I'm going to be doing as well, in respect to the other platforms, right? The incidence rate, oddly enough, for how often I do post to YouTube probably won't go down much. Probably going to be posting just as much as you're used to over there, and it's going to be, as you can tell, continuing on with the current war situation and the unfolding of everything surrounding the blowback of the bioweapon and all of this stuff. So I'm going to separate topics a little bit, but I'm going to continue on with those threads over here. What's also going to happen is I'm going to be doing a lot more of the esoteric topics over on Patreon. And so that's kind of how I'm going to break these up. I actually did post a really fun one yesterday to Patreon. If you're not a Patreon, you can go visit the page and see how I'm expanding on the Fox faction, Jesuit casuistry ideology, plus the Wizard of Oz, Alice in Wonderland. There's a little bit of a tie-in I'm going to do to this in the video update I'm going to do today, because you can also expect later on I'm going to do my first one in the new kind of series and wrap up the samurai theme and actually tie it in with what I did yesterday. I'm not going to reveal, of course, what's in this one. You'll have to go watch it for yourself. You can join my Patreon for $3 a month right now. I'm going to be expanding those tiers too. So there's a lot going on. I just give you kind of a brief overview, but the main strategy that I'm going to be employing to get information out there is going to be via Theta, because it's going to be largely uncensored or completely uncensored. I've talked about Theta in the past. I now have a stream key for Theta, and I wanted this to be a kind of a primer video for everybody going forward to figure out, okay, how do I connect in the new V-Cipher community is what I'm going to be calling it. Just like I call it over on Patreon, I call it the V-Cipher community. The V Insider, and so the whole thing about Theta is going to be mostly streaming, which means that the cataloging of the videos isn't necessarily going to be there every time. I'll have a propensity to do that when I do interviews with people and things like that. I will be ensuring to catalog those and attempt to post them somewhere. But I'm also going to just be doing a lot more live research over on Theta. So Theta is going to be this platform that I'm going to get on and stream actual reading if people want to join me for that stuff. I'm going to just kind of do what I do in my own research and maybe read aloud for some of that stuff. Get people to chime in as I'm going through stuff, as I'm looking for the clues that I normally do to decode. And I'm also going to be doing things like playing video games and watching streams of maybe like the anime series. It's like, Dragon Ball Z, one of the things I wanted to get into going into the fall with the Z steganography, right? Excuse me. So aside from all that, also on Patreon, I'm going to be submitting a poll later today or tomorrow. The video I did yesterday actually portends that that's exactly what's happening. I already told my patrons in this video. Again, this hits on all of the Wizard of Oz, the Wizard of Oz functions, Bitcoin reset functions, kind of blends topics from right after the Super Bowl in with when we're tying alternate history with the Fox faction, Jesuit casuistry, and where we're most recently winding out here, just for a synopsis of what you may want to go check out on that video in particular. But the point is the poll is going to be posting, and in that poll, it's going to be also a collection of what do you want me to do. I don't have time to do everything, but I do want to get into Z steganography. Dragon Ball Z, for instance, is going to be the option. Expanding on the Wizard of Oz and the Wishes and Rainbow stuff, right? As it's playing out right in front of us with the Bitcoin reset and the financial collapse that we see in front of our eyes. Notice I've been referencing the Wizard of Oz, Frank Baum original novels for the last couple videos, and the red flower in that video is, oh my gosh, not responding. The Wishes and Rainbows comic is not responding, but I'm gonna tie this in. That's okay. I'm gonna tie that into the current war update video early later today. But you can expect to have that to vote on, and I'm also going to be, of course, diving into Alice in Wonderland potentially, and see how all the occult stuff in those beats is lining up with the sorcery that we see. If you recall from my last Patreon video too that I did, the final one in the alchemy series, the Wizard of Oz, the Bitcoin reset. So all of that stuff, of course, I get dinged over on YouTube if I talk about it too much. But that's what the poll is going to be all about. It's going to be kind of voting for what you want me to do and prioritize. I'm going to be adding some tiers over to Patreon too. So it's not just going to be $3. I'll maybe have a $5 tier and a $10 tier, and of course give requisite rewards for that stuff. Right now it's just kind of donation based. People that are supporting me, thank you. You get some exclusive content and videos and stuff over there. But I also intend, as I've kind of alluded to with people, the Theta TV live event VIP status. This is kind of what I intend to explain right now with the engagement qualities of what we're going to be doing over on Theta as we, again, transition from this posting model that I've got, which will continue. It'll have these channel updates as you can continue to see with that current war narrative, the year 2020 current war narrative. All that stuff is going to stay over on YouTube. But I'm going to be expanding that into a couple of other different categories where we're going to be doing live research, live playing of video games if you're interested. Of course, that's the beauty of streaming. You just show up, you become part of the community, we have various forms of engagement there, and most importantly, we decentralize ourselves from YouTube slowly. Because this is why Theta matters. If anybody's heard me talk about Theta, of course, I even did a video on the Patreon channel about Theta, as in tied it into Dragon Ball Z right before the summer ended. Which is kind of incredibly relevant if you go watch this as to the mind control aspect of things in the advertising realm, in the virtual reality realm. There's a lot going on in terms of this battle for the mind, as you guys know I talk about. And so, in my opinion, Theta is this very powerful potential tool that we can use. It's just a tool, just like anything else. Just like, your smartphone. Your smartphone's a tool, right? It can be very addictive and incredibly damaging if you let it be with the social media platforms and all that. The Theta can be used for the same thing because it's got a lot of addictive behavior on it too right now, just because of the video game streaming stuff. So I hope to actually flip the script on that, of course, and use my own creativity on the platform to stream those games, like I'm saying, but decode what they're telling people, like give them a roadmap or a blueprint to navigate these environments, these virtual environments that they're in, and show them how to unwind the mind control and the history, mystery, and all that stuff. So the content delivery platform that YouTube goes by, in other words, is this model here. I'm here. Here's YouTube. And of course, here is the CDN, the Customer Data Network, where where it's basically where the advertisers tap into, and then they decide, boom, 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 where the promotion goes for the viewership. This is why channels can't really grow very quickly on YouTube, even if the topics are popular. Like, I don't even know how popular or not popular the V steganography stuff is yet, you know? I've been looking into, there's a lot of stuff that YouTube gates behind having 1,000 subscribers, and I haven't even reached 1,000 subscribers yet. I've only got, you know, like 830 or something like that at the recording of this video. And so in order to reach a broader audience, to share and to become a community, which is really my goal, I just want to reach the viewers, but I can't have this noise in the way if I'm going to be doing it. The ideal would be if I could just get my content direct to the viewer and hopscotch these middlemen. And that's kind of the whole point of a decentralized future with blockchain, and we can get in more into those discussions again over on Theta. We'll have live financial discussions. We'll talk crypto over there. It's going to be fun. This is also where I plan on doing interviews and things like this as the presence grows. Unfortunately, even on YouTube, one of my, you know, just stupidly, one of the goals I need to get to is 1,000 subscribers, just because there are those community features. I can then have a messaging platform with you guys. I can kind of cross promote things better to say, hey, I'm doing a Theta stream, and I can post that on YouTube. Right now, I can't do that just because I don't have 1,000 subscribers. So all of these limitations, as you're seeing with this model, Theta just disregards all these limitations brilliantly because they decentralize the viewership. So me, as the streamer, the relayer here, I can access my viewers directly with Theta. And how this works is the viewer is incentivized directly to watch because they get these tokens in reward. They're called Theta Fuel. So you get these little tokens. You sign up an account just like you sign up for any platform like YouTube. But then when you sign up for this, you also have a wallet creation structure that you have. So the tokens get dumped into, and there's this whole notion with the cryptoverse that you sign up with these private keys where you save these passwords. This might be a new concept to some folks, and so maybe a separate video can be rendered on that, maybe over on Theta where I'm showing people how that works, because in order to get that token, you have to sign up with that structure. It doesn't mean you can't just go watch the video. I'll show you that too. You just go on theta.tv and you can watch the video just the same. But the incentive for the viewer is that they're collecting on this new economy that's being created. And the reason why this matters in this whole exchange environment is because these can be exchanged at some point in their roadmap very near in the future into actual money. So what this means is, because typically most people probably get, when you're a content creator on YouTube, in order to get to this viewer, this centralized CDN has to deem your content worthy, and then they have to kick you back the advertising dollars. I hate advertising. So I you know, even at 1,000 subscribers over on YouTube, I don't think I'm ever going to monetize the YouTube side, just because principally I don't agree with how advertisers do things. And so this is always, which is also working against the algorithm for my channel, even to get to 1,000 subscribers too, oddly enough, because of course there's nothing in it for them to promote my channel if I'm not picking up advertisers. So in order to grow the community, which is the goal, right? Grow the engagement, grow the community, get the knowledge base out there. This isn't a good model. It'll be a good place for people to keep kind of going to it, but this is the better model for actually reaching people, because I can reach them directly. The only downside, right, is the lack of an ability to catalog every single episode, because with the streaming service, they don't necessarily have the database that backs it up. But there's a lot of versatility built into this. DLive works with it as well. And you're also starting to see their own platform here. This Sliver.tv has been rebranded to Theta.tv. That's where you can find the whole streaming service is on Theta.tv, which is right over here. This is kind of the back end of my stuff, but I'll get there in a sec. But you have Samsung and Sony backing this thing with investment dollars and with actual technical prowess. Samsung VR it's going to be the only platform that you can live stream direct to a Samsung VR, so you can now start to have this odd 3D immersion built into it. really cool stuff can happen with that. With what I'm going to do with another project with my basically my business partner, where we're going to be testing out some in-car footage to cover automotive industry items and news and things like that. That's one of my other ventures I've got going on that I'll tell you guys more about once it's launched, essentially. But that becomes a really cool prospect for doing things creatively and really reaching people and immersing them, as long as you're not distracting them. Again, the VR thing can go the other way too. It's totally into the video games where people lose themselves from actual reality. But this allows for creativity. Nothing is positive or negative in the tool world. It's how you use it, right? So this basic infrastructure, therefore, to review, you are a viewer. You come in, you watch, let's say me, the Skullscap Savant channel. And because of this, you are getting theta fuel. I didn't explain why that was important. It's because you're validating the network. You are creating a network of users, decentralized across the entire globe, and you're all hooking in with a device, using the processing power on that device to power the network. So, in other words, Theta doesn't have to invest in big, huge data centers like Google does with YouTube to run their operation and upgrade this constantly. They don't have that operations cost. So they cut that out too. They rely on the devices that the application is installed on itself to validate the network. This is important because this is how the anti-censorship stuff is going to work, because nobody can ever centrally control the computing and the algorithms. There isn't any blanket regulation on what can and can't be said. It becomes a true freedom of speech platform. So not only are the viewers getting paid just to show up, just to subscribe, just to render actions on the channel. I'll show you how that works in a second. But me, as the relayer of the content, I also get a cut of that. And so we can grow the channel much larger, because then the viewer is then incentivized to share. And I really like this channel. If you're really into the V-steganography stuff, for instance, you can get on there and you can say, hey, you got to join this V-Cipher community. It's a fun thing. Everybody's decoding stuff over here. Ben's teaching how to do this basically by showing the way through different forms of media. And that's, again, how I anticipate this is going to work. Because there are much more options available, much more numerous options available to the viewer than compared to YouTube. YouTube, you can like the thing, you can comment on the thing, you can watch the thing. And you've got the super chat now, the super chat where people pay money with this, but that's the general consent, that's the general idea. So once you accumulate these tokens, this exchange, you can take them to and convert them to a form of payment into something. But that's not always necessary, because they've got their own storefront too. So where you can buy items like shirts, I think you can buy computer equipment there, stuff like that. So it's not like Amazon yet, but you're starting to see a storefront pop up around this notion of the theta fuel, so you can spend it as money without even having to convert it. However, so making a transition over to explain this a little bit more, I recommend this community site. I will put this in the description, so you guys can all come over here and read up on what Theta is, and pre my first stream, I'm going to be doing an inaugural stream next week. And that inaugural stream will consist of essentially question and answer. So part of the poll I am going to be running over on Patreon. It's also going to have a question and answer component to it. What questions do you have for me for my inaugural Q&A stream? It's going to be like an Ask Me Anything. I only have 22 patrons, and I'm only going to initially be taking questions from patrons. But I think what I'm going to be doing, if you want to just show up to the stream, you can do the whole donate Theta Fuel thing if you want to ask questions of that too. But I'll be announcing when that's going to be. I'm just going to be collecting the questions for now from the patrons. So if you want to support that, you can just go over and sign up as a patron if you want to be part of that poll. It will post between, right now it's like noon on Friday, September 11th. I will probably post that poll Saturday, September 12th, tomorrow morning. So people have got time to go if they want to sign up on Patreon and be a member for that poll so you can submit some questions for that initial stream. That's how I'm going to be running this. So you can expect my first stream. Here's kind of how the interface looks, by the way. This is, I'll show you a little bit of the inside baseball type stuff for my Theta channel, because I got a stream key activated, and so all I've got to do is hook up the streaming equipment to it and kind of test it out, and that's also what the function of the first stream is going to be like. So yeah, the back end kind of looks like this, and so this is where I can do all sorts of stuff. The chat's going to be over here. You can see how much more robust than YouTube it really is. You can create polls just within. You can create these giveaways. The current giveaway, you've got this thing called the, where is it? Is it the back here? Yeah, here it is. Like the item forge. I can create badges and all sorts of different stuff to kind of give away these exclusive items. I just got to come in here and design these things. It's all designed just to create engagement, guys. It's going to be kind of fun, I think, I'll make like trading card type things so people can collect them if they want to. But all of these features where I can put these supply drops in here, you can kind of see people can make current predictions if we're playing a live game or we're playing a video of some sort, where you can put in like, what's going to happen next, and we could put some Theta fuel attached to that so people can collect on that. It'll be fun. This is going to be a really fun thing to explore, and again, expect a Q&A announcement to come out sometime in the next week and a half or so for me to do my first stream and figure this thing out. How you can expect these Theta fuel to work, because this is how Theta fuel works essentially. The amount varies based on the amount of viewers you have and your internet speed. If your internet speed is higher, so again, it's based off of processing power on your phone. So if you're hooked up to like a gigabit internet connection, you're going to get a lot more than a megabit internet connection or 10 megabit internet connection, right? So you earn Theta fuel as long as you're watching on the Theta network. Your earning rate kind of dumps into your wallet after 10 minutes. There's a processing block time, and then it dumps in to the wallet after you've been watching for a long enough period of time. So it's not like a by second growth rate. You'll see it, in other words, if you have 10 Theta fuel that you've earned, and then you're going to earn another half of a Theta fuel, it'll look like you've got 10 Theta fuel, and then 10 minutes later it'll update and you'll have 10 and a half Theta fuel type of thing, if that makes sense. So I'll link all of these in the description if anybody wants to come look at this for themselves. But here's another FAQ of what Theta fuel is. And the other thing that you do for watching specific channels is you earn experience, just like in a video game. So there are all these different actions that you can do, of course, within the structure of the stream here. But you can watch, so there's 1 experience per minute. So this is even outside of the actual dollar amount you get with Theta fuel. You earn these arbitrary, but they're not tied to anything except for your progress as a member of the channel, essentially. So if you're a veteran to the Skullcap Savant channel, you'll have a lot of experience and you'll have a high level, just like people used to do. I remember in the RPGs I used to play in like EverQuest and stuff like that. People ooh and ah at your level and all that stuff. So, but anyway, it's tied to different rewards I can give out too. So I can give out eventually, like stickers probably, and I don't know if I'll ever do that, honestly. I'm conflicted with that stuff. I don't know what to give away because it's just kind of like I want to give away information mostly. I don't want to tie all this to like merchandising and stuff, but I do want to make it fun for people. So I guess I'll have to figure out that balance. But anyway, you enter these predictions, you get 20 experience. Why do you get experience? Why does it matter, right? Because you get special promotions and prizes, like I just said, but you also are able to invite people to the channel. So how the following system works on Theta is it's not like on YouTube where you just subscribe to the channel. They call the same equivalent to that on Theta following. So you can follow me and be updated of all my videos, or you can be subscribed, and subscriptions nets you extra benefits, extra Theta fuel to watch it, so extra money and all that stuff, and extra rewards, right? So everybody that gets a subscription has a higher level membership than people that have a following. So we can go through all of that in the first Theta question and answer stream. If any of this ends up being confusing, that's where we can kind of hash this out live there on the air. But that's kind of what I meant to cover today, guys. Expect the next video, kind of a follow up to this Patreon video I did yesterday. I'm gonna do a video that sandwiches the topics of this and closes out the topics, the Sumerian samurai and the Mongols, and actually tied into what's going on in China and the current war. So that video, again, that's going to be kind of the current war meme focus over on YouTube. I'll record that later today, and go check these ones over on Patreon out, and subscribe to Patreon if you want to be part of the Q&A and ask me some questions and stuff for that initial stream. I'll be again putting that poll out tomorrow. But much love to everybody. We'll figure out through that poll again which topics we'll be covering. You'll have a lot of agency in that. That'll be fun. And I'm back. That's all I can say. I'm back probably for a lot more frequent updates for you guys, especially for the patrons. So love y'all, and be safe out there as we head into election season. It's gonna be nuts. Talk to you soon.